Hey everyone, Ivy League Gaming here, and today we're playing Raid Shadow Legends, and we have a new fusion coming, guys. We have a new fusion coming, so let me quickly read through the details here. I'm going to put my, let's see, where can I put myself? I don't want to be in the way. I'm going to make myself really tiny. Sure, let's do this. Let's just make myself really tiny. Oh goodness, all right, sure. I'm still on his name. All right, well, you guys can read the side of the bet a little bit. All right, we have Bavald of the Thorn. Sacred Order, Legendary HP type, Spirit Affinity. So he's the ultimate tank that provides crowd control and mass healing for your team. Bavald's main characteristic is that he can place debuffs on weak hits. Thus, you may not worry about landing weak hits when facing stronger affinities or when dealing with Hydra Poison Cloud. With the A1, he can provoke an opponent and heal the most injured ally. So let's read the A1. Attacks one enemy, has a 30% chance of placing provoke debuff for 1 turn. Also heals the ally with the lowest HP by 15% of the damage inflicted. The provoke debuff can be placed even if this attack lands a weak hit. So he can provoke even when there's a weak hit. But we can't provoke the Hydra heads yet, right? There's no heads at the moment that we can provoke, so hopefully, if they're trying to make this a Hydra champion, hopefully that's something that is coming in the future with one of the future heads that we can actually provoke them. All right, let's see. With the A2, while his A2 helps him to place provoke and leech on all enemies, once again, weak hits can no longer be stopped here. So attacks all enemies 2 times. The first hit has a 75% chance of placing a provoke debuff for 1 turn. The second hit has a 75% chance of placing a leech debuff for 2 turns. Also places a 25% strength buff on this champion for 2 turns. The leech and provoke debuffs can be placed even if this attack lands as weak hits. So for Hydra's sake, he has an extra buff that he's putting on just himself, not on everyone else. So that's something you're going to have to consider when it comes to dealing with the Head of Mischief. The Head of Mischief is always going to target whoever has the most buffs to steal. Then they're going to steal them, and then possibly, if you don't take care of those buffs, they're going to spread them to the other heads. So you're really going to want to make sure that if you're going to use that skill, which you probably are, because AoE Leech is great, right? This is AoE Leech. AoE Leech, it doesn't matter about weak hits, don't worry about Poison Cloud. That's going to be really helpful to keep everyone healing during your Hydra boss events, when you want that healing at least. And if you're going to use that skill, you're going to have to, again, be careful. Oh, it looks like we have another issue there, too, with the next ability. So no matter what, he's going to have a lot of extra buffs on himself. So you're going to want resistance on this character, which it's pretty high. It's like 450 you need for Brutal, I believe. 450? Maybe it was hard, even, in the 400s? I have to look again. But you need pretty high resistance to resist getting your buffs stolen from the Head of Mischief. So if he's in the rotation, that might be a little bit risky with this champion, but at least the rotations with Poison Cloud, which also include the Head of Mischief so far, right guys? Oh my goodness. At least that will go through it. So let's take a look at using his A3, Bilvard. Vard? That's an R? Bilvald. They had typos in this description. Bilvald increases his damage for each debuff on an enemy, also heals and shields your whole team. The passive skill allows decrease the damage on all allies received from provoked opponents. Moreover, Bilvald provides HP aura in all battles. So let's read these quickly. Pretty much exactly what they said there. Attacks all enemies, damage increases by 5% for each debuff on each enemy. Also heals all allies by 20% of the damage inflicted, and places a shield buff on them for 2 turns equal to 20% of the damage inflicted. The passive decreases the damage taken by all allies or from enemies under a provoke debuff by 15%, and a 28% increase of HP on all allies for all battles. So that's a nice aura right there for HP. He's definitely going to be useful for some general wave clearing, for account progression, Doom Tower. Provoking is great in Doom Tower against the more 2 waves. If you guys get stuck in those annoying more 2 waves, I highly suggest you bring this guy in, or Provoke in general. Provoke is, and he's going to be equal affinity to more 2, so that's fine. But again, doesn't matter. He cuts through weak hits, so that's really nice. I like that part of his kit. It is kind of a bummer though that there's this focus on Provoke when there's trying to talk about Hydra, just like we said. You don't really have too much to worry about for Hydra with provoking right now, yet at least, unless they change that. But besides Doom Tower waves, there's also the Magma Dragon. The Magma Dragon right now is the only boss that I can think of that allows you to provoke them. I don't think we can provoke any of the Keep bosses or the Faction War bosses either. You can provoke the ads though in Faction Wars, so definitely useful for Faction Wars. Solid kit for Faction Wars. Provoking the waves, dealing with those Valkyries, all that kind of stuff. Not fun, right? So, and provoking the ads for the bosses is always nice as well. So that's not bad. And Leech. Leech is going to be really helpful for keeping everyone alive. So yeah, I think it's an interesting kit. I feel like he's someone I might actually use. Like, you know, how often do we do a fusion and then we just forget about them? There's so many people I haven't even... I don't know that I'm using any of the remotely recent fusion champions, sadly. The new guy seems cool. I haven't pulled him yet because I'm waiting for CVC, but the most recent one, I mean, Gaius. But this one I think will be one that sounds useful. I mean, I don't know. I have enough Provoke champions personally right now to where I don't think I would need to use him again. My Doom Tower, more 2 waves and I get stuck there. But maybe Hydra if they actually put out a head that can be provoked. Otherwise, it's kind of silly because all we would be using him for is the heal. Or the leech, healing with leech, I mean. And I don't know that that's really worth it. It's like, okay, cool, he hits through poison clouds, but you can't provoke anyone anyway, so... I don't know. A little bit mixed on this guy. Let me know in the comments below. What do you guys think? And yeah, I will see you in the next video. Thank you guys for watching this update. So much excitement happening. So much excitement.